2019. I'm the coach. You're locked into the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, second-year quarterback Deshaun Watson and the Houston Texans face off with Blake Bortles and the Jacksonville Jaguars. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half. But it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Sunshine State in TIAA Bank Field here in Jacksonville. This crowd excited to see their Jaguars as both teams emerged from their tunnels a moment ago. We are just about ready for football as the Jags get set to match up with the Houston Texans. Alongside my partner, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. Charles, you look at this Jaguar team. They come in losers of 2 straight, so they're trying to right the ship here a little bit.
They're teetering a little bit, aren't they? And now things could really go south if they lose this game, so they understand the importance of playing well and stopping this streak.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Texans, they're hitting their stride of late. Winners of 3 of their last 4. Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here's the first drive now for the Jags. They'll be led out by their quarterback from Central Florida. It's Blake Bortles.
Would you say that last week's performance by him, workmanlike in terms of numbers?
1 touchdown, 1 pick, but obviously a loss.
Yeah, and that's the bottom line for him. All he cares about is how do we find a way to win the game. Maybe leans on a few other parts of the offense and hopefully springs a receiver or 2 free.
Here's Leonard Fournette, 1,000-yard rusher from a year ago. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. On the tackle, Tyrann Mathieu.
And that was a good run. This was only one of 9 guys to go over 1,000 yards in 2017. And I think you can't let him run wild here.
What do you think, 100 yards, the measuring stick?
Always. That is the threshold. You want to keep him under that if you want to play good defense.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 11 yards there for Jacksonville and a first down as well.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
Bortles now on first down. Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. Zach Cunningham in there to bring him down for a loss of 7. So a look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. They tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've drafted well, scouted free agents well, and stocked your team just the way you're supposed to.
After the penalty, it's Yeldon. And he'll be tackled just past the 35 at the 36. That run good for 6 yards, but they're still looking up at a 3rd and 15.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Green 80! Green 80!
On 3rd and long, it's Bortles. Out of the backfield, it's T.J. Yeldon. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. And they convert on 3rd with a gain of 22.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, it was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Green 80!
They keep it on the ground. This time it's Fournette. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Here's Bortles to throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
And this is off target to the left. Didn't get there anyway. It's no good, and this will remain a scoreless game.
I tell you, it's not easy kicking field goals in the best of conditions. Yet in a downpour like we're in right now, it makes it that much harder. And sure enough, they can't convert here.
Now a first carry for Lamar Miller. And he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through.
And he fires one that's intercepted. A.J. Boye with a pick. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line.
Well, before Jacksonville gets the ball back here, let's look back to that Week 6 game against Dallas. The defense, I mean, look, the offense struggled, but the defense really struggled. Those first 4 weeks, they were as advertised. 56 points allowed total. 70 points, though, now given up the last 2 weeks, Charles.
Yeah, hard to believe that win against New England that seemed like a real establisher. You know, saying this team's going to be there all year long, and we're going back to at least the AFC Championship game. That's way in the rear view right now. They've been outscored 70-21 the last 2 weeks, and the defense has to take its share of blame, but at the same time, the offense not helping at all. They're -9 in turnover margin for the year. Blake Bortles has thrown 8 interceptions thus far against 9 touchdown passes. That ratio has to improve and get better. I won't leave it all on him, but the offense can't keep putting the defense in tough situations.
Fournette, a first down carry, and he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
6 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring us to the end of the first quarter.
But you've got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you and you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
Alongside the former defensive back Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Jaguar football as we begin quarter number 2. They've got a 3rd down and 5 to start things out.
Set. Green 80.
Shotgun now for Bortles. And that is incomplete.
I'm not sure we can spot any tendency here on this 3rd down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they run successful.
And he'll go ahead and field this at the 5. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10.
Now the Houston Texans, Charles, 3-game win streak. Remember, they started 0-3, now 3-3 after that dramatic win with a pick 6 by Jonathan Joseph over Buffalo. So all of a sudden, things looking up for them.
And how about their defense really starting to step up now? Now they got J.J. Watt back, Whitney Merciless, the addition of Tyrann Mathieu. They've really come together because Deshaun Watson struggled a little bit in this one. He's been getting hit a lot this season, had to make a lot of plays. This is the 3rd straight win for Houston, where Watson has had 3 or more turnovers. That's unlikely in the NFL, so give their defense a ton of credit for that pick 6 by Jonathan Joseph that sealed it. That's a heck of a win for the Houston Texans.
So right now, a lot of focus on that O-line and keeping Watson healthy.
Best they can do. The hard part is trying to make an O-line better during the season. You have what you have. He's going to have to play throughout the rest of the year knowing what he's dealing with, but he's got to find a way to cut down on the turnovers.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
He punted 5 times in the win last week as this one's away. Taken from just outside the 30. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10. Bortles leads the Jags up 1st and 10 at their own 42. They'll start out on the ground. It's Leonard Fournette. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
Bortles. They go with the screen. It's Yeldon. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. Only a yard there. Sniffed out well defensively, and it brings up 3rd.
So many things have to come together just right for a screen pass to break for big yardage. The blocking, the timing of the pass to the runner, everything has to fit together just right. But on that play, the defense was able to disrupt things and hold it to a short game.
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on 3rd down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. D.D. Westbrook, his intended receiver. And that'll bring up 2nd down. Defensively, Charles, they continue to really limit this offense as far as yardage goes.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been assignment sound, staying in their lanes, keeping proper leverage, and communicating well, too.
Bortles now throw. Now he's hit, and Bortles fumbled. It's loose.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
And this is going to be incomplete. Well, too much oomph, too much mustard there on that pass.
They really turned it loose, didn't they? Really cut loose with that one. Sharp, strong. Didn't lead to a completion, though. Made it very difficult.
And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. And here comes the Texans now.
This is their 3rd drive. Right now, maybe not about points, just about getting something. They haven't gotten a first down yet in this game.
It's a mental barrier you don't think about until you go a couple of drives without getting a first down. Then all of a sudden it looms big. It gets harder and harder to actually attain that first down.
It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Footing's definitely going to be an issue because it's tough to make those quick cuts that you're used to making on a soggy track. In fact, the Hall of Fame runner once told me, cut on your heels in this type of weather. Gives you better balance.
And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. To throw on 2nd is Watson. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by the former first-round pick, DJ Hayden. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. The Jags with their first opportunity in the red zone. 1st and 10 right at the 20. From the gun, it's Bortles. Over the middle, complete. It's Cole. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. That one goes for 16 yards. It sets them up 1st and goal.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Jacksonville. As his guys are in for 6, and the Jags are able to cash in for 6. On those slants, everything happens so quickly. What makes it work?
The timing between the passer and the receiver. In this case, a slant route ordinarily is probably about 3 steps before you go on the slant. In this amount of time, I think it was a two-step deal. Boom, put his foot in the ground and got inside for the pass.
Got inside for the pass, got inside for the catch, and the score. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Getting set to go again, DeAndre Hopkins marches back onto the field. You better believe that he's well aware he has 0 catches right now, and they're losing, so he's probably a little hungry.
And you know the guys on defense are aware as well, and they're really excited he has no catches, but they're also worried because a lot of times that's like the ticking time bomb. The longer you hold him down, when he finally explodes, look at him.
Yeah, no catches, though, so far in this game. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball in the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. So we're back in the offense getting set following the call of that timeout. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They go play action here on first down. His throw caught at about the 5. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Goal line offense, something they've really been emphasizing in practice lately. Now they have a chance here to put all that hard work to use. Again, it's Watson. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. It came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
One man in the backfield, that's Miller, 2nd and goal. To the air yet again, Watson. And he can't corral it. Maybe a big missed opportunity there defensively in the end zone. And now 3rd down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but holding this, and this will be a touchdown. Deshaun Watson, his 11th touchdown of the year. And the Texans are an extra point away from tying this football game. And a little time left on the clock, so on the other side, they're thinking, gosh, we'd like to get that lead right back.
Yeah, thanks for pointing that out. Here I am going ahead and tapping out the first half.
Well,
there's still time. They've got to make a decision about what they want to do on the kickoff, whether they want to let their return guy touch it.
The point after through the raindrops, up and good. And that is going to tie our game as we approach halftime. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. Fielded about a yard deep. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. On first down, Bortles. That's into the hands of Westbrook over the middle. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. Now the Jags will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1.
Here we go.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
Green 80. Green 80.
Bortles now on first down. This is Yeldon on the dump off. The Jaguars now will use the last of their timeouts as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. So now on comes the field goal unit, and wow, this is no ordinary try here. They'll spot it at the 47, so call it a 57-yard attempt. And this one will not get there. It's off to the left anyway. It's no good, and this game will remain tied here in quarter number 2.
And this is one of the risks you run when you attempt a long field goal. If you miss, the defense takes over at the spot of the placement. So now they've got a chance to get one more drive in before halftime.
Good starting field position for them here as they come up first and 10. Watson now to throw. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it indeed. Here come the flags.
Face mask. Defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
Now a signal and a timeout call as it comes with 9 seconds to go in this first half of play. And we are back here. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. So the offense takes the timeout, and now we're set to get going. Play action from Miller. Now Watson. Got a man open. It's Fuller for the Texans touchdown. Will Fuller in the final seconds of the first half. And the Texans are in for 6. So they're able to break the tie just before halftime. Now they just don't want anything crazy to happen on the ensuing kickoff.
Yeah, they want to just add the extra point, get the kickoff taken care of, and get to the locker room with the lead that they fought so hard to get.
Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And that makes the score 14-7. Fairbairn now to kick this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Final play of the first half, barring a penalty, as they come up on first and 10. And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that should do it for half number 1. So we have reached halftime here. It's the visitors, the Texans, out in front, as we now go downstate to Orlando and check in with Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. A lot to get to here as some of the division races starting to take shape as we look around the NFL here in week number 7. We'll begin in the AFC as we've got Buffalo on the road at Indianapolis. And it's the Bills who lead that one late in the second quarter. Kelvin Benjamin, a touchdown reception. From there, let's get to Philadelphia as we check on the Eagles at home at Lincoln Financial Field. And for the moment, they find themselves trailing the visiting Carolina Panthers. Cam Newton with a couple of touchdown passes there. Finally, let's get over to Carson, see what's happening with the Chargers at home at the StubHub Center. And they were winners in that one as they defeat the visiting Tennessee Titans. Travis Benjamin, a career afternoon, 4 touchdown catches. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A 1-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. They have the lead now. They'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies, try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. On second down, here's Miller. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it's going to make it third down at 6. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense.
Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Picked off by Barry Church. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Block in the back. Offense.
So that one will be accepted. So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. Bortles on the give to Fournette. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. J.J. Watt, the one that gets him down.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line.
The best offenses and the ones that win are ones that make adjustments. And right now, I think this team needs to open things up.
Throwing his Bortles on third down. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40.
Holding. Offense.
So instead of giving them another third down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
And did he have enough? He did. He kept it online and managed to tuck it into the bottom right corner. And they'll cut the lead back down to 4 now at 14-10. So a decent drive there to start the third quarter. They only salvaged 3 out of it, but they inch a bit closer.
Yeah, but still lots of time to go in this one. That's why you hear that clapping on the sidelines, right? Hey, got some points. As you said, inching their way back in. Time left to go out and get that victory.
Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They'll try and get the run game going. This is Miller. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. Tashawn Gibson there on the tackle.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Again, it's Miller. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. He'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Oh, he almost intercepted it. They're just forcing it into too many tough spots. That was almost a 4th pick of the game. And now 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Green 80. Green
A fake to Fournette. Now it's Bortles to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Niles Paul, the intended target. And now it's 2nd down.
Well, switching gears for a second, a neat moment before Pittsburgh's game last week. Everybody knows James Conner and how he dealt with cancer. 10-year-old in the crowd, Charles, had a sign that he was holding, and this kid is also dealing with cancer. James Conner went over to him, met him, gave him a word of encouragement, and signed some things for him. That was really nice.
Really cool, isn't it? Because James Conner understands what that young man's going through. I believe his name is Levi. got his attention. They're kindred spirits. And James Conner also showed him by his play and being back out there, beat this, overcome it, and go out and live your life the way you want to live it. And he's living it in a big way in the NFL right now, having a terrific season.
And over 100 yards again this past week.
Yeah, what a great story and crucial catch month in the NFL.
Fielded at about the 28. Look at this spin.
Balance.
Good blocking there. Nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back on the field here.
They were forced to punt last time. Now, I doubt sincerely that they'll have to punt here because they're gifted with terrific field position.
I don't even want to think about the idea that they would end up punting starting with this type of field position. Neither do they. Great starting spot. Great opportunity to run your full playbook. If they want to take a shot here, they can go ahead and do it.
It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
And that one almost intercepted. Far too loose with the football here. Nearly a 4th pick, and it's 3rd down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
Check. Green 80.
Back now in Jacksonville. It's Jaguar football, but a little work to do for them. They trail here as we start the 4th.
Green 80. Green 80.
On 2nd down, here's Bortles. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And they're able to bring him down at the 20. Only a yard there. Sniffed out well defensively, and it brings up 3rd. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. That's taken on the 25. A good return there, 17 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
So they go from one 42-yard line to the other as they come up now 1st and 10. They keep it with Miller on 1st down. They're able to push forward for about 4 down to the 37.
All right, that's a decent game there, but it hasn't been his best game overall. So I wonder what the mindset is of his team. Do they want him to handle the football and try and close this game out? Or are they going to make an alternative plan and maybe go in a different direction?
I think they need him, and this is his time to shine. To throw is Watson. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. That catch puts him right at 100 yards receiving now, and it also gives him a 1st down.
I know we just saw a nice throwing catch, but how about the big guys up front buying that time? Yeah, that's exactly what they did. They created time and allowed the space to happen, and it turned into a really nice play.
And he'll take this down just shy of the 25-yard line. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back, those are the ones you focus on and want to take away. And they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
But plain and simple, that's the second time today that he's dropped a pass.
And that one, I think, maybe even a little easier than the earlier one that he dropped. Surprising.
Was this game announced as a night game prior to it? Maybe his brain was just off, just got thrown off. He's got to wake up, enjoy the sunshine, and go play.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense, when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
And now before they run this fourth down play, we're going to get a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. And we're back. The offense had a chance to talk things over. We'll see what they come up with here on this next play. And here's a big one now. Trying to hold this lead. They're going to go for it here on fourth down. They will indeed snap it to Watson. And that is incomplete. Bill O'Brien rolls the dice, but to no avail. And the Jaguars are going to take possession here on the turnover on downs. Boy, you talk about not playing it safe. Why were they going for it there, Charles?
It's got to be a full evaluation of their team. Do they trust their defense in this situation? Maybe they think they've given all they can in this game and they don't have anything left. Do they not trust that the other team's quarterback is just so hot that no matter where they get the ball, they go downfield? Remember when Bill Belichick went for it in that game, right, against Indianapolis on the road, and everybody said, why'd you go for it there? I think he just thought to himself, on the other side, if they get the ball, they're going downfield anyway. He was trying to end the game right there with his own offense.
This one complete to Niles Paul. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
I don't know whether I want to be a fly on the wall or not when they hear the explanation of how one of the bigger targets on the field, the tight end, can be that wide open and uncovered downfield. Who blew that assignment?
Somebody did.
No doubt about it. There's no way you're not going to account for him.
So that'll back him up 5. A full start backs him up 5. 1st and 15. Working from the gun, it's Bortles. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll be 2nd and 12. They should have got more out of that, though. He was wide open.
I love how emphatic you are with that call because that's exactly what I was thinking. Wide open in the flat. Give him a ball that he can use to get upfield with, not just catch and go over the sideline. They cost themselves some yardage there.
And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. So it's Jaguar football here as we welcome you back. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. He's back to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. A gain of 6 there on 1st. Now the Jags are moving quickly in the hurry-up. Back to throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Bernardrick McKinney in there to drop him as the clock continues to roll. Back to throw. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets this down about the 21 or 22. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down. He got out of bounds. That's a good thing, but still short of the 1st.
And now, since this brings up 4th down, the defensive play caller, grab your nerves because now you don't want to be so amped up that you give them a 1st down by getting out of your lane.
And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by Kareem Jackson.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down the score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
Now a run. This is Alfred Blue. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. And now the Jags defense deciding to call a timeout. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. Now the Jags will use the second of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. This is the running back, Blue. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. The Jaguars now will use the last of their timeouts as they stop it here with 1:07 remaining. Another running situation on the doorstep as they come up 2nd and 10. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. The stop for no gain brings up 2nd and 10 from the 20. Watson going to give this one to Miller. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. It'll be a loss of 1, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12.
Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college, and how about in the NFL? The miracle of the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time. Ball popped free. Philadelphia picks it up and wins the game.
What year was that?
1978. I think it was in November.
On 3rd down, Miller. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and it'll bring up a 4th down.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
So it looks like the offense isn't going anywhere. They're going to go for it on 4th and 7. Well, Charles, the forecast called for rain throughout the entire game, and we got rain throughout the entire game. But these two teams, they had fun getting dirty out there. They love the slop.
Did you trust the forecast ahead of time? Or are you one of those guys that's skeptical about it, or did you trust it?
But when I saw just a big blob of green on the radar, I said, okay, let's trust.
Yeah, and that's why I'm glad you took my advice. Get your notes laminated, because, you know, open-air booth, that rain can affect us as well, although not as much as the guys on the field. But let's face it, it's kind of fun to watch these types of games, isn't it?
It is. By the way, how impressive is it that you travel with a laminator? I didn't even know there was a portable laminator.
The things that you learn.
Golly, wise beyond his years. So for Houston, they move back.
Want to